Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Out of Sight Sports YouTube series. I've been eager to tackle this topic, and today we've got a mind-boggling one. How were 11 players picked before Tyrese Haliburton? Before we dive in, a quick shout out to our amazing viewers. Your support means the world to us. Exciting news, I'll be trying to drop a new video at least once a week as well. If you enjoy the content, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps our page grow. Now, let's unravel the baffling choices from that fateful NBA draft day in 2020. Let's roll. When Tyrese Haliburton fell to the 12th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, it was a joy to witness the enthusiasm of Kings fans, particularly given that, at the time, the Sacramento Kings held the record for the longest active playoff drought in the NBA, spanning 16 seasons before finally making it to the playoffs last year. The Kings' playoff drought, the lengthiest in NBA history, made it all the more gratifying to see the elation in both the Sacramento Kings and their devoted fans in securing him. Little did we, or at least I, know that he would become one of the best and most efficient players in the association. Pacers prodigy delivered two outstanding performances to wrap up the inaugural in-season tournament, scoring 53 points and dishing out 28 dimes in his last two games combined, with a total of zero turnovers. Let me tell you something right now. Tyrese Haliburton is a bad man, and he will be cooking NBA defenses nightly for at least the next 10 or maybe 12 years. While leading the Pacers to the first IST championship, he drilled back-to-back game winners against the Grizzlies and the Celtics, two Eastern Conference beasts. What puzzles me is how the hell 11 teams passed up on him during the draft. Media outlets couldn't sing enough praises about his versatility, basketball IQ, and leadership ability. NBA.com described him as a versatile guard with an off-the-chart basketball IQ, a great passer, defender, and leader, while highlighting his uniqueness, emphasizing his size, length, and exceptional skills as a passer and shooter. Third source, called 8 Points, 9 Baskets, said he was a special player with the upside to become a future star in the NBA, praising his ability to pass, shoot, and defend, along with his sky-high basketball IQ and ability to lead those around him. Safe to say they were right, the NBA scouts most certainly weren't. To tell the full story, we got to start from the very beginning. Tyrese Haliburton hails from a small town called Okotosh, Wisconsin. I think I said that right. Born on February 29th, 2000, Tyrese Haliburton, the son of John and Brenda Haliburton, is a leap year baby. Growing up in Okotosh, Wisconsin, Tyrese found his love for basketball at a young age, immersing himself fully into the sport. During his childhood, Tyrese developed a profound infatuation with Lakers legend Magic Johnson. You might wonder why Magic, given that Tyrese was born nearly a decade after his retirement and lived in Wisconsin. The reason was because his father shared vintage clips of Magic's brilliance with him, uniting Tyrese's admiration for the iconic basketball player and deepening his passion for basketball. That being said, his father also exemplified what more parents with kids in sports should do: avoid forcing them into a particular activity. In fact, if it were solely up to him and without objection from Tyrese's mother Brenda, Tyrese might have chosen to focus on his football career. Haliburton had this to say about his dad: "I saw qualities that Magic had, like the smile on his face and the joy that he played with. My dad sees Magic as this basketball side of positivity, so he wants me to be that way." His unwavering loyalty to his teammates, although admirable, almost led to him never becoming the player he is today. The chance to participate in the exclusive shoe circuit reserved for elite AAU teams was highly sought after. The AAU shoe circuit consists of basketball tournaments backed by massive shoe brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. So yeah, this is a major opportunity for high school basketball players to get to showcase their skills in front of the best college basketball coaches and scouts in the country. It's a tough competition with some of the best young prospects in the nation. The invite brings exposure, a chance for high school players to turn into sought-after prospects. College coaches and scouts are in the audience, looking for that standout player who can shake up the game. NBA players in the past, such as LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Rose, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and many more, all participated in the circuit. Sure enough, Tyrese received an invitation and a chance to join one of these prestigious teams in the shoe circuit. Not much of a surprise there. Yet, he opted to stick with his local AAU team. Choosing this path in 8th grade meant that, while other players secured early scholarships, Tyrese found himself without similar opportunities. One day, his football coach walked up to him and said, "Look, this basketball thing obviously isn't working. Why don't you switch sports?" Tyrese responded to his coach, "Fine, give me 2 months, and if I don't have a D1 scholarship, I'll play football." Within the month, the university I doubt you've ever heard of came calling: IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. Tyrese Haliburton's captivating journey from an unassuming start at IUPUI to become the 12th pick in the NBA draft unfolds like a script filled with unpredictable twists and exhilarating turns. Fate fate seemed to intervene when he received his first offer from a relatively unknown IUPUI, small school seldom discussed in broader basketball conversations, yet it marked the beginning of an extraordinary trajectory. Haliburton's ascent through the ranks was defined by a relentless pursuit of excellence. Despite securing prestigious titles such as Gatorade Player of the Year and winning a state title his senior year, the spotlight eluded him, with major universities passing over the prospect. This ultimately resulted in him going to Iowa State as a player ranked outside the top 150 in the country. Tyrese Haliburton faced the prospect of sitting out a year to refine his skills. However, the narrative took an unexpected turn when his father encouraged him to assert himself from day one. Challenging Devondre Bell, the 34th ranked player in the country, became a pivotal moment. Haliburton seized the opportunity to start when Bell got injured, impressing both his coach and teammates. In an instant, he transformed from an under-the-radar freshman into a prospect, generating NBA draft discussions. Despite the chatter, Haliburton characteristically displayed humility as usual and opted to return to the school. The turning point in his journey occurred during a stint with Team USA's U19 team over the summer. Playing alongside highly coveted prospects like Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, and Scotty Barnes, Haliburton not only held his own but emerged as a starter, solidifying his presence on the national stage. In his sophomore year, Tyrese Haliburton elevated his game to new heights, positioning himself along highly respected players like Jay Williams and Chris Paul, where the second-year Cyclone guard stood out as the only Power 5 underclassman with an assist rate above 35%, while having a usage rate below 22%. Nevertheless, the peculiar circumstances of the pandemic led to an unusual unfolding of the 2020 draft process. COVID-19 disrupted traditional scouting methods, compelling teams to evaluate prospects in isolated workout settings. Haliburton's unorthodox shooting form became a talking point, leading to hesitations among decision-makers. Despite earlier projections placing him as high as the 4th pick, he ultimately fell to the Sacramento Kings at 12, as we know. The draft night drama unfolded with the Warriors choosing James Wiseman over Haliburton, a decision that, in hindsight, appears very regrettable for the franchise. Pistons, Knicks, Wizards, Suns, and Spurs all passed on the opportunity to draft Haliburton, each making choices that would later prove to have significant implications for their respective teams. 1 year later, just before Haliburton could start his second NBA season, the Kings opted to trade him to the Pacers, marking a pivotal moment in his career and leaving fans shocked. Despite the trade helping the Kings snap their NBA-long 16-season playoff drought in the last season, moving on from Haliburton and acquiring Sabonis make their chances of advancing beyond the second round highly unlikely, especially given the competitiveness of the Western Conference. If you disagree, you're probably a Kings fan or a Tyrese hater. The trade hurt the Kings long-term, and there isn't any way around it. While currently envisioning how Tyrese Haliburton could have significantly benefited various teams, it's crucial to recognize how these decisions were shaped by each team's unique scouting and evaluation processes at the time. For example, the Bulls could have utilized Haliburton's playmaking and shooting to complement Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, while the Warriors could have bolstered their bench at the time with his versatility, with him eventually becoming a starter. The Pistons could have enhanced their roster by complementing Cade Cunningham with Haliburton's skills. Similarly, the Knicks, Wizards, Suns, and Spurs could have found value in his playmaking and shooting to complement key players on their teams. Even the Hawks, Cavaliers, and Hornets could have benefited from Haliburton's versatile skill set, despite already being set at the point guard position with Trey, Darius Garland, and LaMelo. However, these reflections are made in hindsight, and the teams that made their selections based on their own evaluations and scouting processes at the time. Now, regarding the Kings, there's no animosity towards them. They have a dope name, stylish jerseys, and contribute positively to the NBA as a whole. The Golden One Center stands out as potentially the loudest venue in the NBA when the team is winning. Recognizing their need for size and impact Sabonis could bring, the move highlighted the team's priorities. As we all know, looking back at the trade left many people shocked with the Kings' decision, arguing that it might have hindered their opportunity to build a franchise around Haliburton. Reflecting on the trade now, it seems evident that retaining Haliburton would have positioned the team as genuine contender. Imagine the potential impact if the Knicks, Wizards, Suns, or Spurs had even picked him. And with that, that's a wrap for today's episode. Last but certainly not least, thank you for joining us for Howard 11 players picked before Tyrese Haliburton. Your support is what keeps this ship sailing. If you enjoyed today's show, show your boy some love by liking and subscribing to the Out of Sight Sports YouTube page. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.